everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Ellen Marie Francisco, and today we're going to do our sneak peek for March 2025. I do feel firestorm energy, just a lot of red hot reality, and the momentum is building. It does seem like Mars is rip roaring through March just as much as any other time, and there is this sense that Spirit is moving us, possibly moving through you. If you're in exalted versions of yourself, you may be clearer in ways that you never have been. If you feel like you need to get in touch for a more personal look at what's going on with you, feel free to get in touch with me through my website at morphintoyou.com, and we'll take it from there. I'm going to pick 3 cards for this little sneak peek, and we're going to ask the question, what do we need to know for March 2025 so that we can be prepared? The Page of Swords popped out. You know, this card was the card crossing us for February, so obviously this is still an important card if it's coming into March. The Page of Swords represents Aquarius, an Aquarian age-like aspects and themes. It's like, I feel like this Page of Swords is like a little thirsty, hungry bug that's thirsty and hungry for information and consciousness and a connection to the divine. And I also feel like the divine has a hungry and thirsty need to connect to us. We may also see changes in learning institutions, the educational system around learning and what's being taught and things like that on the bigger forum in the world and in more myopic local environments. Higher ideal thoughts and inventiveness are also natural with the influence of this page, so there may be a lot of interesting ideas coming forth this time. You could be brainstorming in new and interesting ways too, especially if you're willing to keep an open mind and not be married to past paradigms of belief. Like sometimes this card kind of pierces through to show reality in a way that reality didn't show itself before. It's true in tarot that the cards pick you, and here we go again with that. So the Seven of Swords again has been a common theme in some of the readings in the last number of months. Same message almost every time I pull it, and so therefore I consider this a protection card in a lot of ways, and it is a divine number 7 as well. So to me, it's like a direct message from our spirit guides, our God essence, our higher self, anything that basically isn't in full body form that's part of our alignment in our system of knowledge. This card was also in our sneak peek for February. It didn't come in the full form reading I did, but it's showing up in the sneak peek for March. So trust me when I say, trust your intuition. No time to trust those you cannot or do not trust. This is definitely a caution card. Lock your car. Don't leave your valuables in plain sight. Don't leave your doors unlocked. You know, no time to really give randomness the benefit of the doubt. Definitely don't overturn your intuition if it's yelling at you. Don't let your intuition be downgraded when other people who maybe who aren't as tuned in as you are generally are trying to take the lead. This is not the card to be pushing things, so don't push it, especially in questionable situations. Usually when we get this kind of influence, it is because Spirit is bringing us better messaging all around, and it's their way of giving us fair warning that while we may not be fully aware of it yet, we may have had a major growth spurt and the invisible worlds trust us more. Suddenly there's more information coming in. So they really don't want you to underestimate how powerful your messaging is during this time. Self-protection. When in doubt, don't is a good phrase to intone yourself at this time. When in doubt, don't. The next card in our 3-card spread, that is now the 3rd card in our 4th card spread, because of the way things pop out at us. The 10 of Pentacles is really fantastic. It's like a reward card as well as a very good sign that things are coming to an end and starting anew all at once in this sort of overlapping beauty of completion and new beginnings. Some things are hitting the material plane as well, so it can be a really beautiful sign that you're coming into the sweet forms of abundance that you've been waiting for, and that things are being given to you in easier ways. So it's not so much like you're running around depleting yourself like you may have in the past, having to prove yourself to the universe. This is more the time where you're being rewarded for things that you've done right. Some of the most connected and divine beings tend to just give where their heart feels like they need to give and then just keep moving forward. They let the universe handle the details and they let the universe offer them payback. This is one of those cards that comes to give us fair warning that the tide is turning. A lot of people only give in order to get. The Ten of Pentacles rewards those that give for giving's sake. It usually comes to reward the people who have been giving just to give, who have just been moved through spirit to give to the rest of humanity, or to give to the earth, or to give to the animal kingdom. Whichever way you want to direct your givingnesses, the universe keeps track and pays you back, right? Like you came here to do the work in the company of strangers. So you do need to be well resourced for your own journey, knowing that they need to resource you for the next wave of your journey and they want you to have everything you need. So your own ability to open to this, to play along, will make these coming weeks and months ahead more interesting and more abundant. Ten of Pentacles also hints at having to resource yourself for newer parts of your journey that you were not aware of as well, right? Like we're constantly completing journeys and starting new journeys, often overlapping in tandem. So this is a good hint that you're being rewarded and coming along on a new journey right on time with hopefully the resources you need. As long as you're open-minded and willing to receive, this card and this influence works beautifully for you. If you're not in the mood to receive, you're kind of choking off the goodness that was meant to be yours to begin with. The other card we're working with in our March sneak peek is the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is a little bit like facing your own fears and willing to literally jump through the hoops that it takes to get there. There's usually a wall of fear or a lot of falsity that waits to hold us back as the universe waits to see whether we're going to push through to our new limits of unlimitedness. It's definitely a momentum card. It's not a lazy card. It's the I can't wait to get out there and all my will is intact. So sometimes you do have to jump through hoops to get to where you're going. Sometimes you do have to prove to the universe that no matter what, you're not going to stop until you get there. And in other ways, we really do dance around our own fear and insecurities for a while before we finally take that last little big plunge and roll with it and basically break our glass ceiling and get through whatever limited limitations that we set up for ourselves. So this is an incredibly liberating time if you're willing to take a little bit of risk and believe in yourself. And if you're coupling the message of this card with the soft warning in the Seven of Swords to protect yourself and to not betray your own sense of the appropriate or your truth, then you're not going to be baffling yourself with bullshit. You're going to be intoning credibility into your whole system. And you're going to prove to yourself that trusting you pans out. So you only need to have that happen a few times before you build an unshakable foundation. We're getting the hint from Spirit that we've done our work and we're better now. We have better discernment. We're working with better discerning abilities within our own reasoning and processing. And we're ready to take more confident steps towards our future. I would say also that seeing the Knight of Wands brings us some peace when we get to the other side of the journey that came with her. The Knights of Wands, the Knights like to get things done. They're the ones that move through the kingdom and make things happen. And that's a lot to look forward to. Wholehearted, beautiful connection. If you can bring that into your day, I think the rest of the energies go better. And it's not as big a struggle or as much of a quandary trying to figure things out. I think the choices are obvious and steps become clear. Thanks very much for showing up to my channel today. Take what you need and leave the rest behind, and I will see you another time. Much love until then. Bye for now.